Hey YouTube, it's your girl KaylaSunshine, and I'm back with another video. I know y'all tired of the little life updates and stuff like that, but I've been like fairly busy when it comes to just trying to get my life together. So I'm just gonna update you all a little bit on what's going on with me. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing actually really good as far as working towards my goals and trying to create the life that I want. Let's see what's happened with me. Well, recently I had completed my certification in spiritual life coaching. So right now I'm in the process of creating my program, which has been very, very, very time consuming, but very, very beneficial, just because I know that I'm pretty much on the right path and everything is like aligning in the way that it should. So right now I'm currently in the look at the goats back there. There's actually 2 pregnant goats and they are ready to pop any day now. So I'm really excited. This one right here. Yeah, that one is huge. I don't know where the other one is. Oh, she's over back there. But yeah, and that's the daddy right there. But anyways, so right now I'm in the process of creating my program, which is me creating all the exercises that I'm going to not cover, but basically a pool of exercises to choose from depending on what each client really needs, whatever is unique to them, because everybody comes with different situations and different goals that they want to work on. So I want to have a variety of, I would say, like activities, exercises, and worksheets to like pick from depending on what it is that they need, and just trying to get the whole business together and make it like legit, because I do feel like I said, I feel like everything's aligning in the way that it should. So yeah, as far as like my peace of mind, I haven't quite found a way to protect my peace the way that I would like to. I'm getting better at it. Oh, my arm is getting tired. Look at me. Oh, gotta stretch that thing out. But I haven't quite found a way to completely protect my peace, which is something I need to work on. There's still little things that get under my skin. For those of you who I guess might have watched my last video, I am freshly out of a relationship like a month and a half ago. My boyfriend and I had broke up and stuff like that, and it's a very confusing time, because it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't know if this is one of those things where the two of us just kind of work on ourselves, and maybe one day we'll find our way back to each other, or am I just playing myself and just need to just fucking focus on me, which I'm just trying to do, regardless of if we find our way back to each other or not. I still have to get my life together. So that's pretty much where I am as far as that little situation. It gets really hard, because I don't know what it is, but ever since like I've been here and away from him, I've literally like almost dream about him every single night, and it's like kind of hard to wake up and realize like it's just a dream and we're not together anymore. But I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So whether we find our way back to each other or not, I'm still working on myself, still trying to create my brand and my business and lay the foundation for the life that I really want, and not only that I want, but that I deserve, because I've been through some shit, and I really don't believe that God puts me through what he has for me to struggle my entire life. Like, that's just not fucking fair. I don't think that God works that way. So I do believe that I'm divinely guided and protected. So I'm just trying to do my best to do the work and meet my guides halfway, if that makes sense. So I've still been trying to be consistent with my moon rituals and stuff like that. Me and the moon are getting closer and closer. I've been working with her pretty much all this year, and it's been really beneficial, and it's something to look forward to. Like, for me, it's just crazy how the simple things kind of just bring me peace and happiness. Like, just things like the moon, or being able, like, I'm in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the country, like, and being here, oh my gosh, the sky looks amazing. You can't get that in the city. So I'm trying to find ways to be grateful for the situation that I'm in. Like, I didn't really quite finish up the last time with what my current living situation is, but basically, like, a couple years ago, I want to say like back in like 2018 or whatever, there was a family friend that I've known since I was like maybe 13 or 14, but I reached him, and I like were talking on Facebook and stuff like that, and you know, he always has been like a very, very good person, and I decided that, you know, I'm going to need a father figure in my life. Like, I have my dad, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to give my arm a rest, but I have my dad, but my dad really isn't in a good he's not a father figure in any way, shape, or form. My dad has been battling a drug addiction for the last like 17, 18 years. And I need somebody that I can kind of depend on. So I asked him to be that for me, and he accepted me into his life as one of his own. And he already has 6 beautiful daughters and everything. So when things went sour with me and my boyfriend, or my ex-boyfriend, you know, like that night, like I hit him up and I was like, can I come and stay with you? And he like replied instantly and was like, you know, pack my bags, and what was I waiting for? So I made my way here, and it's really great for me. This kind of this moment in my life is pretty great for me, because that family foundation I've been lacking for a good while, because even though I haven't had like a family foundation, I don't know, because even when I was living with my mom when I was younger, like it was very dysfunctional. It wasn't like, I mean, everybody's family is dysfunctional, but that was like a toxic type of dysfunctional situation with my mom, and the situation she would put us in. And I mean, at times I do know she was doing her best, but at times towards the end there, she kind of like threw in the towel and just said, fuck it, I don't want to be a mom anymore. So yeah, but this right here, I think this is exactly what I need in this very moment, because that's something that I've lacked, is the family type of dynamic. I haven't really had that in a while, and I'm getting to experience what having a healthy family is like. And honestly, I'm grateful for this moment and for things ending the way it did with me and Matt. I probably shouldn't be saying this. There's fucking 800 million Matts in the world. But anyways, so things ended the way that it did with him and I, because this was something that I was lacking. And my family at the moment was his family. So, I mean, it just kind of hurts, because it's like, well, it did hurt, because it was like I didn't really have anybody to like really introduce my like, I didn't have a family to introduce my like significant other to, or anything like that. So whoever it is that I am with next, like, I want this to be the family that I bring them around and introduce them to. And this is the family that I've not only adopted for myself, but they've adopted me into it as well. Not legally or anything like that, but just being brought into this situation. And it's like been very, very very rewarding and peaceful, like just to be surrounded by support and love, and where you can just kind of be yourself. So this is what I needed in this very moment. As far as my relationship with my dad, my real father, that has been quite interesting. Like I said, he has been battling a drug addiction for the last 17 or 18 years, and that's pretty much been the turmoil of our relationship, or even having known him. And it wasn't until a couple years, like until like my senior year of high school, that we were able to be in contact with one another legally, because there were like protective orders in place and things of that nature, where I literally could not be around my father. And once I hit 18, I was able to make that decision for myself, whether I would want a relationship with him. And I tried to build that with him. And while building that relationship, he did get arrested and was put in jail. And so we were building this relationship with me, like having to come and visit him on his visitation days, calling him, not calling him calling me on the phone, and being able to talk 15 minutes at a time, you know, things of that nature. But I was very disappointed when he got out. He got out in like 2016. Yeah, 2016. Yeah, November 2016. So it's been about 4 years now, but he got out, and I actually was the one to pick him up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and everything. And this was my first time like being able to see my dad without a glass in between us, since I had been like 8 years old. So to my surprise, he basically dropped me off back at college, because I had a lab that day, and I didn't get to see him ever again. Like, well, up until now, but I didn't get to see him ever again. Like, he pretty much went MIA. He relapsed, or at least that's what I think. I kind of have a theory that maybe he had been doing drugs all along, because if you know the justice system, jail and prison, all that shit, like, people are still doing drugs and stuff. Like, that doesn't stop addicts from anything. So, but anyways, he basically fell back into his old ways, and I think because of shame, he wasn't able to face me. But for me, I'm one of those people, I'm not really judgmental, but one thing that I do hate is that if you are someone that I depend on emotionally for me to confide in you and just to be a shoulder for me to lean on, and you go MIA, like, I would rather you not. Like, I don't give a fuck what it is that you're doing that you're ashamed of. I don't give a fuck what drugs you're doing, but it hurts me more for you to go MIA, and I went from having at least one parent, because my mother and I haven't had a relationship we genuinely haven't had a relationship for the last 4 or 5 years, but it felt good to have him at least, and to finally have a relationship with my dad over from pretty much my whole life not having one. So it was really disappointing, because it was like, wow, now I went from no mom to now no dad either. So, but since then, since I've been back in the area, he stays about maybe like 20 minutes away from here. I have been doing like little pop-ups on him, because I do know where he stays, and he stays with my grandmother. And so I will like occasionally go and pop up on him. And the first time I popped up, I couldn't stay too long, because it's just like, it was very disappointing to see him the way that he was. The first time I popped up on him was like right after Christmas last year. But then now that I moved back in this area, I popped up on him again, like, I want to say the day after I got here, and still didn't stay that long. Each time I go and visit him, the visits last a little longer. I think I've seen him maybe 3 times, and they've been very, very beneficial for me, just because there's a lot of missing pieces when it comes to my childhood and me trying to figure out, like, how things ended up the way that they did, as far as my family being pretty much broken apart. And, a lot of that you don't really recall because you're a child, but he's helping me kind of put the pieces together. Well, at least I'm hoping whatever he's saying is truthful. So you kind of still got to take stuff with a grain of salt. But I'm very grateful for the relationship that me and my real dad have in this moment, although it is nowhere close to perfect. But I can tell that me spending time, like coming and seeing him, it really brightens his day, and I can tell that he's happy to have somewhat of a relationship with me, and that I feel like, and for me, what's beneficial is I can tell that he's proud of the woman who I've become. And one of the things he told me the other day, the last time I went and saw him, when did I see him? No, I don't remember. It was like maybe 2 weeks ago. But the last time I went and saw him, one of the things he told me, like, as I was talking, he like interrupted me, and he's like, I hate to interrupt you, but I really wish you could talk to your mom. Like, she could just see the woman that you are, because like, she's got you all wrong. And he goes on to say, like, she's saying, like, her opinion of me is that I'm just like manipulative, I use people, I'm selfish, all kinds of shit, and all types of shit that just is not true. And it's crazy, because on the way there to go see him, I wondered, because the crazy thing is like, for him to have been exiled from our lives because we were supposed to be live in fear because of how dangerous he was as a person, based on the picture that my mom painted. It's just fucking ironic that they're now kind of like the best of friends, and they talk on the phone like several times a week and shit like that. But for me, as I was on the way to go see him, it was just like, I was just wondering. I was like, I wonder if he just tells her about me. And so when the moment that he had said that, it like almost, look, I'm getting emotional now. It almost brought tears to my eyes, because that's something that I have been wondering, is like, because I talked to him a lot more than I talked to her, and we have a very, very, very authentic and transparent relationship, my dad and I, like, and that's one thing that I do appreciate about it. And that's one of the things that I do with any of the relationships that I have in my life currently. Everyone has accepted me for who I am, because I show myself for face value. Like, everybody is handpicked. Everybody in my life I have handpicked to be there. And it's you either accept me or you don't. Like, you take it's a take it or leave it type of situation. So for us, we have a very transparent and authentic relationship to where we don't sugarcoat anything with one another. So I get to be myself 100% when it comes to anybody, but my dad especially. And I just always wondered, like, how that goes, like if he talks about me to her. And I want to say, like, when I first got here, I asked if she ever asked about me, and he said no. She hates you. Like, she pretty much says that you're like evil, like the worst thing that ever happened to her. And I asked him, because I was doing a lot of reading and stuff, and I was learning about the chakras. And one of the things that was talked about in the books is pretty much how you're treated when you're a child, like as far as the nurturing that you receive. So I asked him, I was like, was she nurturing to me at all? Like, did she comfort me? Was she anything like that? And he was like, pretty much she envied the fact that I was healthy compared to my older sister, which we're like 14 months apart. Courtney was very, 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 very sick. She was premature, and her immune system was a lot of stuff was like kind of, I don't want to say wrong with Courtney, but Courtney had a lot of health issues as a child. And for me to have been a oopsie baby, a baby that my mother was not trying to have, which, I mean, she probably wasn't trying to have her either, but it's just like she went from having no one to she finally had like someone to care for and to take care of, and that she could kind of love, and they love her back. But me, I kind of popped up not where I was supposed to. So for me to have been in that situation and to come out completely healthy, my mom hated that. Like, she hated that I was so active. I was so able to just be, when Courtney, her baby, the baby she really loved, wasn't that way. So for that, I guess that's led to a lot of the way that I am now, as far as the way that I feel, as far as hold on, as far as like feeling unwanted, unloved, like a curse, like feeling like a burden, just feeling like I was the worst thing to happen, or just wondering why I was put here, like just thinking that I was put here just to bring suffering to people's lives, like, which is something I've worked on. That's pretty much this whole year has been trying to convince myself of otherwise. But so for that, back to what I'm saying, like, this is having a relationship with my dad. He kind of helps me put the pieces together. Like, I didn't know how I came about until earlier this year when we spoke. I didn't realize that I was the result of an affair. I didn't realize that my dad was married and was fucking around with my mom, and she ended up getting pregnant by me while they were in the military, and just all the shit that went on because of that. And I had no idea. So because of that, like, me at the time, I was 22 years old when I found that out. Like, I had no idea that that's how I got here, like, so it kind of answers a lot of questions about things I just didn't know, because I don't know but so much. I kind of only know what I know. I don't know. I don't even know when I started coming to the realization of just how things were, or how my life was, or whatever. But I mean, nothing has ever been pretty in my life. My mom never hid the fact that we were fucking poor, or that, it was very apparent that we struggled pretty much my entire life, between living in hotels and, let me not say hotels, motels, excuse me, like literally struggling every day to find $40 to pay for the room. Like, those type of things were never hidden from us. We knew our life was of struggle our whole lives, pretty much. So it's, I guess, up until leading up to, I guess, 5 years old was where everything was like a mystery. I just didn't know, like, how the fuck everything happened. So my dad has been playing a pretty huge factor in me understanding the stuff leading up to that point. And this honestly is going to help me when it comes to when I do decide to write my book. But that's neither, well, I'm not gonna say that's neither here nor there. That is like super, super crucial to the point that I'm in right now. Like I said, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and this is helping me just to understand me a lot better and helping me gain peace and to understand that everything I've gone through has been for a reason and led me to this point. And like I've said many times, like all of this has made me super fucking relatable. Like I can relate to pretty much anything, and this is going to help me when it comes to my clients, because I've gone through so much trauma, so much emotional abuse, like just so much in my life that you name it, I probably can, like, I probably have been there. The only thing I can say, knock on wood, is I've never been a victim of like rape or anything like that, thank God. And that's the only thing I can say that doesn't, like, that's the only box I really don't check off. So, and anything else though, you name it, I probably have been there. So which is why I'm so glad to get to the point where I can just kind of just release and use my outlets as far as like Instagram, things like that. I'm glad to finally get to this point, because for a while it was something I was ashamed of. Like, people are gonna watch this video and be like, what, she was homeless? Like, if anybody like that grew up with me, they're gonna be confused. Like, they're not gonna understand. Like, but this whole time there was all of this going on that people just didn't know about. And it's so crazy, because even when I'm very, very open and honest on my Instagram, and even like just talking about telling stories about my mom, people would not believe it, because from the outside looking in, my mom was like the PTO mom, making stuff like every freaking holiday. She's making like pins or something, like little goodies, all little stuff, like the crafty mom, the volleyball mom, all that shit. But behind closed doors, it was a lot that we went through and that we suffered from, and people just never knew. And I guess like my mom's, her whole motto and her way of life was to fake it till you make it, and that's exactly what we did. So a lot of the stuff that I have shared so far and plan to share, because I do believe everything I've gone through for a reason has been for a reason, and I relate and connect to so many people whenever I just whenever I just like share my experiences. I relate and connect to so many people, and I love that, because it helps people know that they are not alone, and it helps me to know that I'm not alone when they reach out and are like, wow, like, and they share their experiences with me. Like, it's so healing. That has been so helpful for me and helped me to heal, because it's like, if me just being honest and showing people the real, it can help just someone to know that what they've gone through is like, they're not alone. Like, that makes it all, not all worth it, because nobody should go through the shit that we do, but you can't help, some things are out of your control, especially as a child, the things you go through. So it's like finding a way to transmute, like to turn that pain into a purpose. And that's what I'm doing. Like, in this moment, everything I've gone through, I'm turning that pain into my purpose. And that's to encourage other people. Like, you don't have to feel this way. Even as normal as that shit might feel to you, sometimes normal is not okay. Like, you deserve peace. You deserve happiness. You deserve to love yourself. You deserve to know that you are not your past. You can release the things that were out beyond your control. Like, all of this stuff, like, you deserve serenity. Like, at the end of the day, we all deserve serenity and happiness. So, wow, I'm actually surprised this video is going on for 24 minutes. But, so, that's pretty much where I am, like, right now. And I'm very, very proud of myself, especially this month alone. Like, I really just decided that, you know, it's time I just take control of my life and start creating the life that I want and living it exactly how I want, which I've been living it how I want all year. But it's just like, now that I have I've been able to kind of quiet the outside noise and people who just think what I'm doing is fucking completely ridiculous and is like, bitch, go get a fucking job. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's all going to pay off. And I believe that. Like, I believe that I'm divinely protected and guided. I believe that everything is going to work itself out. And I just have to meet that halfway. Like, I have to meet the universe halfway. Like, I can't just expect shit to happen for me. And I think that was something that I was lacking when it came. And to be honest, I think that was something that I was lacking this year. Like, just, I have to put the work in also. So I'm proud of myself for what I have put in, the work that I've put in this month alone. So I just want to keep the momentum going and to keep being committed to myself and my goals, because I deserve everything that I'm claiming, you know? And I'm only more deserving of it once I put the work in to get there. So that's pretty much where I am now. And I'm very, very, very much at peace overall. There are times, like yesterday, there were little triggers, things that I'm pretty much good until things, I'm pretty much good whenever I'm not talking to my ex, to be honest. Like, I'm pretty much good when we're not talking, because it's like me just kind of having tunnel vision. And my peace only gets disturbed when it comes to him. So that's something I really got to take a look at. And he's not a bad person at all. It's just like, I don't know. Yeah, like, I'm working on myself. I really hope he's working on himself. I'm working on myself for me at this point. But for him, he's got a lot to work on also. So as hard as I was being on myself when we broke up, because I was the one that got broken up with, like, I'm just thinking of, oh my gosh, I'm just defective, I'm just unlovable, I'm just like fucking horrible, like nobody loves me, that type of shit. Like, nah, I mean, we both got some shit to work on. It ain't just me. So I hope he's doing that, whether we get back together or not. I really hope he does, because just for his own sanity and peace. So I have pretty much gotten to a good point when it comes to putting my peace and happiness before anything else. But now it's where I incorporate the mentality of how to survive. Like, I have to get my hustle on. I have to start grinding more, and just like, now that I know what power I possess within me, now it's like time to use it and to walk in my purpose. And that's pretty much the shift that I'm going through right now. And it's so ugly, but it's so fucking beautiful. Like, this is such a ugly, beautiful phase that I'm in right now, and I'm grateful for it, because I know that I'm gonna come out on top. Like, I just know that I know where I'm going to be. There's no doubt about it. I know I'm going to be fine. And I'm going to live a life of abundance, fulfillment, love, and peace. All of the stuff that I want is going to be mine. And it took me a while it was one thing to say it, but to believe it I'm just now getting to the point where I actually believe it, that I'm capable of and worthy. That's the one thing. I'm actually now getting to the point where I feel worthy of what it is that I'm asking for and aiming for. So you can't, and this is one of the things I was talking about in my one of my exercises, is like, you can't fool the universe. No matter how much you speak it, if you don't believe that shit, the universe is not going to answer. Like, there's no fooling the universe. So yeah, like, that's just me. My skin is looking amazing. No filter. I'm waiting on these daggone goats to be born. I was going to show y'all the chickens, but the chickens ain't running around the yard right now. But yeah, that's pretty much where I am right now. I'm good. Oh my gosh, I love me. Like, bro, there's nobody else like me. And that's fucking amazing to know and to feel, to know that I am an original copy. Like, God broke the mold when he made me. And you know, there's people who might try to imitate me. There might be some people who envy me there, but there's never going to be another one like me, TheKaylaSunshine. Like, I am one with the sun, and just like the sun, I'll rise, and just like the sun, I'll shine. Like, I am doing exactly what I need to be doing in this moment. So you guys stay safe for the holidays. Stay away from grandma if you've been out and about. Yeah, like, just be yourself and just love yourself. Like that's my main advice for anyone at this point. It's just to be yourself and love who that person is. So I'm about to sign off, or whatever. If subscribe or whatever, you don't even have to do that. Like, this is for me. Like, do whatever. Like this video, subscribe, comment. I like comments. I do like when people interact with me. You can follow me on Instagram at TheKaylaSunshine. I wouldn't suggest you follow my Twitter, but if you want to, it's TheKaySunshine, because you can't have as many characters. So yeah, you guys be great.